Today we're going to talk about a very important thing that is happening nowadays. I've been very preoccupied trying to follow up on what is happening in Israel, more specifically in Gaza. I'm a little bit concerned because this could spread out, this could get the United States involved. In fact, I'm also worried about the Philippines because of the friction with China. But for now, let's set aside what's going on in the Philippines because what is happening in Israel is in fact happening now. I was watching CNN and I'm going to give you my comments on it after we take a look at it. Stay with me. That's what we'll talk about. Here's a clip from CNN. I was very surprised, but I guess I'm not surprised, but let's take a look at what CNN had to say.
CNN's Nick Robertson and his crew got an up-close view of the ash, the bullets, the trail of absolute destruction. The rare inside look at how the IDF is fighting comes at a consequential moment in this war, as the American president says that the Strip's main hospital must be protected. Now, Israel says the very same facility houses a Hamas command complex below it. And CNN reported the story that you're about to see under Israeli Defense Force escort at all times, but CNN did not submit its script or its footage to the IDF. And CNN retained editorial control over the final report that you'll see now.
Okay, this clip says this is controlled by CNN. Although they took the pictures from Gaza, of course with the permission of Israel, this is in fact a clip or an opinion by CNN and not dictated by Israel.
Driving into Gaza with the Israeli forces. It's a war zone. The conditions of our access only show officers, no faces of soldiers, and don't show sensitive equipment. We are passing mile after mile of destruction. Buildings blown, collapsed, nothing untouched by the fury of Israel's hunt for Hamas. Streets here crushed back to sand.
Shops, everything that we see, no sign of any civilians here, and the soldiers have been telling us that even inside the stores they've been fighting things like rocket-propelled grenades ready to use against them as they were advancing through this area.
A few miles in, we pull up at a command post. Soldiers living in blown apartment buildings.
Every building I'm looking at here, wherever you turn, it's destroyed, it's shot up. Hard to imagine how civilians endured the bombardment here.
Our next journey, much deeper into Gaza. We arrive 100 meters from a battle with Hamas. Tanks blasting targets in nearby buildings. The IDF's top spokesperson waiting for us.
We're now conducting an operation inside Gaza next to Rantisi Hospital.
Israel is facing massive international pressure over the destruction of homes, the shockingly high civilian death toll, and in the last few days over its apparently heavy-handed tactics at hospitals.
We are searching the tunnel with the bulldozers to reveal the tunnels that we suspect that are underneath the hospital.
Gary has brought us here to show the connection he says exists between Hamas and the Rantisi Children's Hospital.
We're now here in an area between a hospital, a school, and a terrorist house.
A Hamas commander, he says, lived there. He points out the solar panels on the roof.
This is a tunnel that was slided like this, the floor. You can see here.
This is the ladder going down.
See the ladder going down.
I see the ladder going down.
Okay, this is a 20-meter tunnel. And look at here. Look at the panel. Be careful here. But look down here. that the cables are going down to the tunnel. Okay?
So they're hardwired into the
what I wanted to show you, the solar panels on the terrorist house provide electricity directly to the tunnel. We have entered a robot inside the tunnel, and the robot saw a massive door, a door that is on the direction of the hospital.
We're in what is an active fire zone here. You can hear the small arms fire. The IDF say they're still clearing this area out. We're getting down here, just taking a bit of cover because they say we're still taking fire. But over here, we were able to smell what smelled like rotting flesh, bodies perhaps buried underneath the rubble. No, don't go up high. No.
Well, you know, Israel is doing a good job documenting this. Not only documenting it, but publishing it. Because a while back, everybody was misinformed. They don't believe. I don't know if you saw that news article about what happened October 7th when it was showed to the politicians in Washington. It was showed to Congress, and they were just amazed. But before this, they were not showing anything because, well, it's terrible, okay? And some people say, "Oh, gee, you know, that's just movies, and it's not really happening." It's amazing. It's amazing, but to some degree, that's the fault of the media today. Too many fake news, but Israel is doing a good thing by taking a picture and showing it to the public. Make a believer out of the people. So let's continue.
Expose yourself.
As we move off to the hospital, 100 meters away, we're still taking fire.
We're still conducting an operation. Operation conducted by our special unit. The Israeli Navy SEALs are researching the hospital.
Hagari later tells us he took a big risk, bringing us into such a combat zone. It is clear he wants this story told.
We're searching here to see the connection of the tunnel to the hospital, okay? Don't fall here.
So this is where the connection...
We are looking for the connection.
As we finally reach the hospital, it is already getting dark. A huge hole has been blasted through the walls into the basement.
Why is the hospital so damaged?
We'll talk. Why is the hospital so damaged?
Like this?
I'll explain. It's an important question.
Yeah, it is.
We came to this hospital 5 days ago. There were still patients inside the hospital. We did not enter into the hospital.
He claims since then, all patients were evacuated by hospital staff.
We assist this evacuation, of course, to make it a safe pass for all the patients in the hospital. We do not know that the hospital is entirely clean. We do not know. We only entered to this area which was suspected because we were being fired.
Gari leads us through a warren of basement corridors to this room.
This was the armory, okay?
This was the Hamas armory.
Yeah.
He shows us a few rusting guns and some explosives. These guns alone have potentially huge implications for Gaza's hospitals and Israel's apparent push to take control of them.
The International Committee for the Red Cross say that hospitals are given special protection under international humanitarian law in a time of war. But if militants store weapons there or use them as a base of fire, then that protection falls away.
In other rooms, he shows us a motorbike with a bullet hole in it that he suspects was used by Hamas attackers October 7th. And nearby, possible evidence hostages could have been held here.
We are now in the basement in the same area, yards from the motorcycle. We see here a chair. We see here a rope. We see here a woman's clothes or a woman's something covering a woman.
Do you think a woman was tied up in this chair?
This is an assumption going to be checked by DNA.
More evidence, Hagari says, points towards Hamas and possible hostage presence below the hospital.
And by bringing us here to this hospital and showing us the connection that you believe exists between the terrorists and the possibly hostages, what does this say about the other hospitals here in Gaza?
Cynically, Shifa Hospital is known by facts, by intelligence, to be a terrorist hub. And also, it's suspicious also in holding hostages. This is the best shelter for the terror war machine of Hamas.
But the hospital authorities said they have no knowledge of Hamas or other groups inside their hospitals. Is that possible?
I think it's not possible for an hospital to have this kind of an infrastructure. We knew the terrorists were here. We knew.
Did you know?
We knew. By intelligence, and also we got some fire from this area.
From this area, this building?
From this area, and we were right to fire because what we found an armory.
But so much damage all around here.
Yeah, there is damage all around here because Hamas made it impossible for us to fight him. He built all this infrastructure in tunnels and in hospital around areas populated.
As we exit the hospital, it is already dark.
We're just getting ready to leave right now. The firefight's still going on, still intense, bullets fired, explosions going on up the street there.
This war and the controversies surrounding it, far from resolved.
Well, here's the biggest issue. The international community does not believe that Hamas headquarters is under the hospital. So they said, do not bomb the hospital. Do not hit the hospital. But how can you not hit the hospitals when Hamas is underneath? Very smart on the part of Hamas. But according to them, it's against international law. So they're violating, they're doing something illegal too. So what do? You're caught between a rock and a hard place when you say, okay, we don't want to hit them, but then the people are there. And by the way, most likely, the kidnapped victims are there. So what are they going to do? Well, I am pretty sure, or at least I hope not. I hope Israel is not going to bomb that hospital until they have actually evacuated every single one of them. So they're doing the same thing. They're doing a lot of humanitarian stuff, trying to get the people out, providing them with medication and doctor services and all that, while they are going down to the basement of the hospital. Hopefully, by the time, just to be sure that everybody is out of there, by the time all the private citizens are out of the hospital, then maybe at that point they will bomb the hospital and destroy it totally. Not only the hospital, I'm talking about the ones underneath also. That probably will be the finale. But a lot of the countries did not believe it, and they felt that Israel is doing something illegal by hitting, for example, the ambulance, the Red Cross or whatever, the ambulance. But Hamas is using this transportation also to move people around. So this is a tough one. This is a tough one. But it's really concerning to me because a lot of the people in the United States are sort of influenced. I cannot believe, my personal opinion, okay? I cannot believe why these people not only are supporting Palestinians, but supporting Hamas. That is crazy. Now, of course, we don't know. This is a big question mark. And again, this is just my opinion. I don't know how much of the Palestinians' mental set, because of the many years of indoctrination by Hamas, are influenced by the Hamas culture. What is that culture? I'm talking about death to America, death to Israel. They openly say it. I hope not. And I hope there is future for the Palestinians in this country, because I think the first assumption we make is that they are good until proven that the indoctrination is stuck in their head. And they have the mentality, the same mentality as Hamas. So I show this in case you did not see the clip, but I'll appreciate it if you share this with other people just so they get informed as to what is really happening in the country. I know some of you don't want to watch this because it's not good. It's not good. Who wants to watch something that is not good? But the only reason I'm constantly watching it is it affects my life too. It affects my life too. I cannot just go back and forth. In fact, there is a warning for people who are traveling overseas to be vigilant and watch what is going on in the world. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this clip and informative. And I'll appreciate it if you click like and do subscribe to my channel, please, unless you have already done so. God bless and make it a great day.